Hello everyone, welcome to Sharmit. In this session, we are going to talk about another very important topic of reactive forms in Angular, where we will be discussing a very simple example for the reactive form. If you remember, in our previous session, we talked about the basic theoretical things regarding the reactive form, like what are reactive forms, why do we need it, and benefits, drawbacks, all these things, right? But in this session, we will be discussing the practical examples, like how to actually create the reactive form. What are the modules that we are supposed to import? How to bind the input fields? These all things we will be discussing in this particular session. But before we proceed further with this session, I would like to recommend you to please go and check out the previously released sessions first, because they all are in proper sequence and sync. So if you follow it sequentially, then it would be much more easier for you to understand the ongoing topic, because for time being we are just mainly focusing on how to create a basic reactive form. But prior to that, you should know what is reactive form and what are the basic stuff that we have already discussed. And for these sequential content, you can also refer the Sharmit digital course book, which is freely available in the description box. There you will find 3000 plus resources, which is available in both Hindi as well as English language, and it is completely free for all of you. So you can just simply watch it. Okay. Alright. So now we are good to start with the session. Here you can see currently I am in app.component.html file, where we have mainly two headings. One is Angular course by Sharmit, and the second one is reactive form in Angular to create a basic reactive form. Okay. Now after these heading, what we will do, we will simply create two horizontal rows here, HR. Okay, so this horizontal row will help us to separate out the actual heading with the actual form. Okay, now as per the requirement, let me explain you the requirement first. So I want to create a form where I have two fields. One is username and second one is password. I want to create this form, but in terms of reactive form. Okay, I don't want to go it with the previous examples, like earlier we know how to create it using template driven form, right? But this time I want to make use of a reactive form. Okay, so I want to create two input field. I want to receive that data, and then I want to show it on the browser again. So this is the overall pattern. And those who have covered the previous session, they know that in reactive form, most of the logic part comes under a component file, not in the HTML file. In HTML file, we just do the UI part, but the main logic will be present in the app.component.ts file. So as per the concept, we will design the form. So let's go one by one. Firstly, here I will add form. Okay. And in this form I want two fields. So firstly I will add the field that is input, not input, let's add the label first. Okay, so label, and in label I want to make it as a username. Okay, then I want to create a input field, and in this input field I will just pass only one thing here, that is its type. So I will pass type as text. Rest all thing we will do in component.ts file. How? Let me show you. So first and very important thing is, before we use reactive form or before we create reactive form, you should import one module, that is reactive forms module. Okay, always make sure to use reactive forms module, import reactive form module, otherwise your form won't work. So for that, let's go to app.component.ts file. Here in import section we will write forms, not forms, it should be reactive forms module. Okay, once it is imported, you are good to use this form now. Second important thing, like I want to use this input field, but I want to bind it from my variable. So what we will do, we will define the variable here, let's say username. Okay, and here we will write a new form control. Okay, so you can see once I press enter, it automatically imported this thing. So always make sure that it is imported, otherwise you won't be able to use it. Okay, so this form control will help us to bind the actual field. So construct a form control with no initial value or validator. So here we are not creating any validators or input value. So we just created this username. So now once it is created, you can simply bind it here. How? To bind this, you can use a square bracket, and in this square bracket we will write form control, okay, then equal, and then the name of the variable that you defined. So I defined it as username. Okay, something is wrong. Let's see what it should be in double quotes. Yeah, it should be like this. Okay, still it is showing error. Maybe we forgot to add L here, and also M. So let's rewrite it because all things are wrong. So form control with a capital C. Okay, and form control should be with capital C, otherwise it won't work because this is case sensitive. Okay, so we have created this input field. Let's see how it looks in browser. So ng serve -- open, enter. Just wait for a few seconds and then it will show you the output in the browser screen, where we have one heading that shows Angular course by Sharmit. Then we have second heading that shows reactive form in Angular to create a basic reactive form. Then we have one horizontal line, one label for username, one input field, and another horizontal row, just to look it just to make it clear on the browser. Okay, perfect. Now similarly we will add for the second field. So for second field we will again define the label. Let me write it properly. Label, and here I will write password. Okay, then we will write input field here, and then we will define the type. This time I will use the type as password because I want to accept the password from user. And now we are good to use it, the form control. Okay, let me show you one important thing. What will happen if I am not using this reactive form? Let's say if this is not imported, will it throw any error? Yes, it won't allow you to use this form control. Okay, so that is why make sure that it is imported, reactive form. Clear? And same goes with this also. Like if you are not importing this, it won't allow you to use it here. So these are the all important things that you should know, because in interviews also they will ask what are the important things. So you can simply say then in reactive form you first need to import reactive form module and form control, then only you will be able to create the reactive form. Okay, perfect. Now let's define the password thing. Here I will use form control, and in this location I will write password, although it is not defined yet. So let's go to app.component.ts file. Here I will write password, then we'll write here new form control. That's it, and save it. So this thing is ready. I hope it is giving some error. What is wrong here? Let's see, we forget. Oh, we have put everything inside a square bracket, so it should come out of this. Now looks good. Okay, so this thing is added. That means we have two input field with two labels. So let's see. Yeah, it looks good. Now to verify, how to verify, because right now if I write A, B, C and 1, 2, 3, we're not able to verify whether it is taking that value or not. So to verify this thing, what we can do, we can simply add one paragraph here. Maybe if you want, you can keep it outside the for HR tag, that is also fine. Okay, let's keep it outside the form. So here I will define P, and then I will write data provided by user, and then I will write here BR tag. Then we will define here the first thing, that is username, double curly braces. Inside this I will write username. Now very important thing I want to show you. If I write only username, see what will happen. Okay, so here you can see it is showing object. It is not showing the actual value that I have provided. Why? Because we are just using username. We should use it as username.value. Now it is providing the correct data. Correct? Similarly, we will write here BR tag, password, colon, double curly braces, and here I will use password.value. Perfect. So now you can see if I write password as 1, 2, 3, it is showing with the password as well. So in this example, overall we discussed how to create a simple reactive form which can accept two input values from the user, and then we can show it back to the browser through the browser to user. So this is just simplest example that we can create with the help of reactive form. In upcoming session we will discuss all possible scenarios and conditions that we can create with reactive form. Clear? So yeah, that's all for today. See you in the next session with new topics. So thank you for watching Tech Sharmit.